Howdy everybody, welcome back to Counter's Casual Competition. We're getting things started here in just a second. Dave Passer, thank you for the follow. We've got some special guests joining us for today's stream, so because they've got their first game starting in just a second, I'm not going to waste any time bringing them in for today. So, as I wrestle, no, that's not what I was expected to do. Not that one. No, buttons. All right, it's going to look really weird. But I'm going to bring Yuki Renner and the Blonde Unicorn along with Deadly Ghost onto stream. It's a little bit busted, but guys, welcome. As I think a lot of Double Up Team's favourite Double Up team and mentor to the server overall. It's wonderful to have you guys playing here today. How confident are you coming in for today's field?
Confident enough to take our last place again.
As we somehow always get.
Well, I mean, we've only got you guys for a couple of minutes, so I want to jump straight into it. So, anyway, for anyone who's coming to the stream for the first time, 3 rounds. That's a very short time. All going to be double up today. And then prizes are mostly given out for participation. So, Yuki, Blonde, what's, from where you're sitting, of course, I was talking about this with Deadly Ghost for a second, but from your perspective, what's the kind of overall meta of Double Up right now?
Just play Rise, just like in the solo.
It was a bit different probably from solo. I think Trinda was stronger in Double Up last patch, but it's pretty similar to solo.
Also, Viego is a bit stronger in Double Up since you can get more souls if you come as reinforcements.
Also, the reason why Trinda was better in Double Up.
So that's mostly the differences.
Well, of course, we've got the sort of the regular part of TFT, but with the Double Up as well, of course, you get the team dynamic coming in. For any folks who may be seeing you for the first time are not familiar with your work, how would you describe your particular team dynamic?
It's usually she's just carrying me. I mean, try to preserve HP always, but usually I ain't. Or she tries to preserve HP, but her comp somehow doesn't work.
So are you more of the leader-follower dynamic in the overall game plan, where it's like one player's more the high-ranked player who's kind of directing the other player more to what kind of plays they should be making? Well, no.
More of me knowing the comps from online, and she just playing better.
Oh yes, sorry, we lost you for a second there, but I think I got the idea.
Your comps.
Well, no.
Yeah, if I grasp the gist, it's Blonde Unicorn knows the theory, but Yuki is better at putting it to practice.
Blonde, I don't know if you can still hear us. I think we're sort of dropping in and out of the camera. I think we might have a little bit of a... Oh, well, don't worry too much about it. We've seen your wonderful faces already. The big question for Double Up particularly come into this one, of course, you guys, you've spent a lot of time playing Double Up together. You've got a very strong dynamic. For teams which are coming in who maybe haven't played together before, who are looking to get better as a team. Yes, you're back again. What do you kind of think that the teams which are sort of newer to each other, who don't have that much experience, where do you kind of feel like is the biggest area that they could improve in to try and make their team work rather than their individual skills shine?
Well, like we watched my sister and her friend play, and we noticed that they weren't really trading items and sending units. And that's like important part, and communication. Like you need to talk.
Yeah, I mean, to bring it back to the Tryndamere meta, you can just prioritize Tryndamere's items one person earlier, so that Tryndamere starts scaling faster. That's sort of a strat. So for any tempo comps, just the good item, focus on the tempo player getting all the base items.
Yeah, I suppose that's something which we...
Also, another mechanic.
Oh yeah, no, please.
Also the unlocks, like you can just during PvE unlock the set if your partner is playing Ionia, for example.
Also, we unlocked Trinda a few times.
We played a lot of Trinda.
All right, well, I mean, I think that's enough
So
to be getting
those
started
easier
with.
unlocks.
No, I mean, we didn't even... Honestly, I hadn't even thought about the whole unlock aspect of Double Up, because of course that's new to us here, but... well, just before you guys get started then, one last thing before we pick things up with Deadly Ghost. As you mentioned, previous tournaments haven't gone necessarily amazingly. What's your prediction for where you're going to be finishing here today?
We're aiming for last. We're aiming the first, hitting the last.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys so much. Again, good luck in your first game. We will definitely try and drop it in on your lobby over the course of the tournament to see how well the theory lies in practice. Thank you so much, Yuki and Blonde. Good luck in your first lobby.
For
Thank you.
inviting us.
And thank you for the good lucks.
Alright, cheers. Alright, so GG. We've got our first lobbies getting set up here. Oh, look, they've still hung around in the channel. Let me
There we go.
oh, apologies. If I'm sounding a little bit confused, it's because we've had a more than last second dropout coming in, but hopefully it'll still be okay. We've got a lot of teams playing here in today's tournament, so hopefully that doesn't mess things up too badly, because the timing of that one was unfortunate. Let's see. I think... DG, I don't know if you can remember offhand if a double up lobby can start with 6 players. I hope so. Yeah, it must be able to.
I believe it can. I believe it can start if it's a normal lobby, so definitely should be able to start. But yeah, that shouldn't be too big of a task. Oh,
excuse me. Sorry, it's
yes, I was looking at the same message. Actually, I was looking at the same message, wondering if we needed to find a fill.
I think we're gonna do our best to carry on. So, apologies if and when I look very distracted and confused. There's I'm adminning stuff and streaming and casting all by at the same time, which is none of which I'm gonna be doing well. Just to get that out ahead of time. So if things go perfectly, it's gonna be great. It's gonna look smooth as anything. If anything goes wrong, like people decide to jump out of the tournament the moment it starts, then maybe things will get a little bit more interesting. But hopefully our first lobbies are underway. So we'll do our best to see. Let's see. So I can see a lot of people are joining the lobbies already. Let's see. Oh, Blonde Unicorn's in the game already, so... What we'll try and do then is we'll try and jump on board with them straight away. So, DG, let's start bringing our own discussion out then about Double Up. We heard some of the discussion about Tryndamere, newly nerfed pretty hard when it comes to the regular play, so it's definitely dropped out of favour there, but what's your kind of front of mind thought about Double Up meta yourself coming into today's tournament?
Well, it's certainly in looking very interesting because you have a lot. You have a lot of different things, and especially like Yuki and Blonde said, if you can unlock the other person's champion that they're going for, you're suddenly opening yourself up to a whole new heap of possibilities. I want to touch on something that they said. The item trading is extremely important, especially because you have a lot of units that sort of share items, but if you can sort of get to a way that you are playing comps that need different items, or maybe you get extras of the items that you already had, you can certainly trade them off, because items are especially extremely important in this set. I believe it's probably one of the key things that makes or breaks a comp.
All right, well, let's get into things, as we've got ourselves a pretty spicy opening lobby in today's competition. And excuse me for just, I need to shut off my meta TFT, make sure it stops jumping in front. We've got the Sensations in this lobby. Of course, we've spoken to them on stream before. A very powerful team, I believe, from Oath, unless I'm mixing them up with another group, but I believe those two.
No, you're correct.
Yeah, so they are former champions here at the Casual Competition. Yuki and Blonde Unicorn, we heard from before. Lucario and Izzy, we've definitely seen a lot. And I believe Cypher and Nestas will be our last team in there. So I will do my best to get the information updated about these teams on the stream as we go. But I think it will be fair to say, DG, coming into this lobby, the Sensations are the ones going to be grabbing the most attention.
Yes, I don't know how it happened once again, but last time we had a double up tournament, Yuki and Blonde were up against the Sensations in a lobby as well. So sometimes, you know, the hand of fate, the hand of fate is really interesting to watch. But yeah, definitely the Sensations are our favorites coming into this game, and TV Sensation already looking towards a Bilgewater Draven reroll comp here. It got nerfed a little bit, but it's still a very potent comp, I would say.
Oh no, for sure. I mean, something which we've definitely been picking up from looking into what people have been doing in the double up field is more towards the lower cost rerolls, with a little scattering of 3-cost rerolls in the mix. I mean, one thing, a composition we haven't talked about yet, but is definitely a huge hitter, is the Echo reroll composition along with Vi, what we've been seeing absolutely dominate lobbies.
Yeah, it's... Echo is sort of becoming the new T-Hex. And I'm not really sure how to feel about it. Okay, we have a couple of bruisers here with a... Oh dear lord, okay. You know, I'm just having flashbacks from seeing that Caitlyn. Nothing important. But yeah, I think Echo is definitely the flavor of the patch, at least for now. And you have a lot of you have a lot of other comps that are slowly starting to pick up, but I think Echo, especially with 2-cost rerolls becoming a little bit more important, let's say, is really strong. And not to say that Echo, for example, hasn't been strong earlier, because he certainly was. He was just, you know, a little bit hiding in the shadows, and now he's sort of come up into the meta.
Well, let's check some of the other bits and pieces coming together from our yellow squad. Here, Cypher and Nestas. We've got the Bilgewater, has been very popular, and Bruiser as well. I think there's definitely an argument, you know, if we're talking about the unlock kind of aspect of things, it definitely feels like there's some merit to running not necessarily the same comp, but compositions that have some amount of crossover in units, so that, you know, as long as you don't need to necessarily be 3-starring, you can definitely be sharing the missing pieces with each other.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And looking at it here, well, Cypher is certainly going to be. Let's use a specific one. Cypher has unlocked the LeBlanc, but isn't really looking for it. I'm guessing it's the Bard that Cypher is looking for with that lifting competition. But for sure, I think just opening up your unlocking your partner's champion certainly gives you some sort of leeway as well, and just gives you a lot of opportunities for gameplay.
So let's see what our yellow team are up to here for on the stream. So we've got Bilgewater down here as well, and Ionia, and looks like on Ionia this time will be the Path of the Enlightened. Certainly, we'd be expecting to still see, even with some of the Ionia nerfs coming in, it certainly still is going to be a very powerful option, particularly just for that little extra drip feed. Particularly if Blonde Unicorn can find an early Ionia 5, then that's a huge amount of push towards higher levels very quickly.
Oh yeah, 100%. And we have the solo plate coming in for Blonde Unicorn as well. And yeah, this is basically one of the economy Ionias, because you gain so much experience simply from fielding Ionia. It's really good. It's really good to get you to that fast 9 or to those later levels where you further on want to just reroll for your late game comp. But last patch it was used quite heavily to sort of get to fast 9, go for that legendary soup. After selling your whole Ionia board, maybe you keep 3 Ionia with set plus 2 and 2 others. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see whether Blonde Unicorn does the same thing, or whether we see a vertical Ionia, because at 7 this has been buffed, I believe. So now you get about 60 AD and AP, which is quite a lot to have on 7 units.
Yeah, particularly if you can itemize and multiply all of that damage. But I do want to take a second to recognize Shelby and Stevie Sensation. They have been doing a fantastic job in the early going. We've got Noxus on one side with maybe actually the move into the more 3-cost oriented version of this setup. We've had the change to Birthday Reunion recently, which means that you now have to get to level 7 to get the Thieves Clubs. So, definitely going to be pushing players who take this augment towards more of the 3-cross reroll, if they're going to be going for any kind of reroll at all.
Yeah, certainly, but I don't really think I don't think the power of the Birthday Reunion laid too much in the Thieves Gloves, as opposed to the early win streak you can get going, and then the immediate 5 cost. So basically, Stevie is sort of locking themselves into a legendary soup comp, let's say, and is sort of forced to go to fast 9. So it kind of rests on Shelby also doing fairly well, at least throughout stage 2, so that they can build up that win streak and get that early economy going.
I do like the attempt from Izzy's side with the, I believe this is just the, see if I can grab their board. Oh no, apologies, maybe that was their teammates. Yes, it was. The advanced loan being used to just get the Bilgewater 5 online very quickly. I always enjoy seeing people trying to, to set themselves up to, if you're going to lose power in one direction, to try and gain it back by, in this case, accessing the better Bilgewater cash outs much faster than would have otherwise been possible.
Yeah, it's certainly a decision. I would say it's a little bit of an aggressive decision, but I am not opposed to it, simply because if you can get to those cash outs, or at least to get to those Bilgewater items that sort of give you a lot more power, you are going to be a very happy camper. And it is showing some promise here for Lucario, who, despite going for a 5 loss streak, still has 45, so he's going to be 50 gold onto 7, is level 5 with 5 Bilgewater, so they're on a very good track to just get towards that late game board.
Do not manage to maintain the win streak all the way through though, so we've got both of them taking a loss in the previous round. Blonde Unicorn and Yuki is taking their step up. I mean, certainly in terms of Bilgewater, as we mentioned before, we've got Izzy and we've got Yuki Lucario, my apologies, and Yuki from Kate Sarasara and the Counters Casual Helpers contesting each other on the line. I'm kind of curious to see if they'll just kind of trade off the reroll variant and the Misfortune more late game variant between each other, or if they'll both try and contest the same style.
It's certainly going to be interesting, especially because one of the pink team is also playing Bilgewater. So we technically have 3 people contesting each other. But yeah.
Oh, you're right, yes.
It's going to be a very... I think the second round of augments is certainly the decider over who's going to play what comp. So I think 3-2 is going to be the deciding factor.
Let's keep a close eye on everywhere that's going to be making the big difference. Then coming into 3-2, we'll see Yuki. See if she's able to farm out against Stevie Sensation, who's moved more into the Yordle line. This is something which we were expecting to see big things from, because of course, for everyone who's been under a rock recently, you may not know that the Ziggs and Rise combination together is extremely popular and extremely powerful since Ziggs got buffed out the wazoo. So if we didn't see at least one player going for that kind of line, I was going to be absolutely astonished.
Yeah, it could be definitely that they're going for the early Yordle simply to unlock some of the later stage Yordles and just build a comp around that. The 3-2 is coming, and so are the gold augments, which means Lucario is going to be getting a silver augment, and that's going to be extremely impactful. Stevie has gone for the Pandora's box, which means BIS items incoming on whichever comp they choose to play.
I mean, right now, for Stevie's Sensation, I'm not hating going potentially actually towards long-term the Void setup. We've certainly got the Ginsu's to enable it further, and certainly given that we've also going to have the birthday reunion to gain a random 2-star 5-cost champion. I mean, we'll see what happens long-term and what slams do come in. Up against Cypher, who has got... we didn't notice this one before. Currently on 70 HP, along with their teammate Nestas, going for the lifting competition. So I think we will almost certainly be seeing the Bruiser Bard reroll, which has been newly incentivized with those Bard changes.
Yeah, I believe the changes are certainly helping the Bruiser reroll comps, but I think every other comp that sort of relied on Bard is it's down in the dumps.
It was a pretty big ask as well, with the given how universal Bard at least was, to be able to actually get him to 3-star for this composition. But so far for Cypher, things are looking okay. I believe we've got a couple of the lifting competitions out, so that's given us an extra belt and a Spirit Visage as well. There is an argument that's been made before, DG, to instead of going for the reroll and trying to get Scion 3 online, which is of course very popular, to just push levels instead and get a stronger overall board that can still cash out the base tip version of the Bruiser setup. But I guess we'll keep an eye on Cypher to see what way they decide to go long term.
I mean, that really depends, because you might be able to do that simply by going for a Void line and then... So, sorry, this is me just theory crafting. Maybe you can go for the Void line and get a Rift Herald in, because, you know, Rift Herald is a bruiser as well. So we could probably do something like that to get the six bruisers, and then maybe go for a late game Wukong, Rift Herald, Volibear comp in the front line as your main carries to have just be the big beefy tanks, which I'm not that opposed to, but I think I think if this is the thing that works best, maybe stick to it. But I would definitely like to see a world where we can have that happen.
All right, so let's sort of kind of big picture here for the team with the incredibly hard to say name, Standalin Linkai? Standalin, I guess is my best approximation of how to say the pink team's name. So you've got Bilgewater on one side, and late game scaling, interesting, and the Bruisers on the other. So things looking okay for the blue team, which is Kaser, Thra, Izzy, and Lucario. We've got a Demacia board, which is looking pretty good, and a solid enough Bilgewater board as well. I mean, DG, I know one of the things that has changed for the Vayne board, with the Kraken Slayer having a little bit less attack speed than it used to have. We're seeing more Ginsus coming in, but even with that being the case, it still feels like an extremely reliable composition.
It certainly is. See, I want to look at the second augment if possible, because the second augment is not at what cost, right? No, it's Epic Rolldown. Okay.
No, there's a lot of very similar, like Patient Study and Epic Rolldown look the same as each other.
Yeah.
They've definitely got better in this set with some of the icons, but not all of them.
Yes, the most notorious one for me is the red buff and the Sunfire Aegis one. Sorry, the Sunfire Cape one, but yes. Oh, interesting. That was the gift from their teammate. But yes, I believe Izzy is going to be looking to get to level 8 and then have that massive free roll for the Garen, the Lux, maybe even try to go for the Vayne. Well, technically this Vayne is going to turn into a Kai'Sa, so you might be looking at Kai'Sa items.
Well, that's the thing. I do like this line generally because, you know, previously you've been in a spot where you just say, alright, I'm not reasonably going to hit Vayne 3 with my current setup. Epic Rolldown definitely makes that more believable, but I'd absolutely take your point that just Demacia and Longshots now have a tremendous amount of options. You mentioned the Kai'Sa, the Ziggs coming in as well. You know, 5 Demacia plus 4 Longshot is still a really good late game board, which ideally has Vayne 3 as part of it, but doesn't have to.
Yeah, it's not an absolute necessity per se. It's sort of like a nice thing to have. But yeah, 5 Demacia for a long shot. You could potentially weave in a Swain in there and keep it at 3. Wait, 5 Demacia plus 3, that's 8. Yes, so the level 9 board does also include a Swain for that extra bit of frontline, so you could have that in your team comp. But we're slowly seeing that Izzy is looking to get towards that level 8, level 9 board, especially if Izzy wants to include the Ziggs in their comp.
And he is ridiculously powerful right now. Let's take stock of where we are then, coming to the end of stage 3. The Sensations, they were dominating early on, but have dropped off a little bit, though not a ton. It does look like we've gone deeper into Yordles for Stevie, though. Given that we're now in stage 4, we're still buying Yordles, but we've got a bunch of Void on the bench. I don't know if Stevie's just keeping the option open, or maybe Shelby. Let's see, so Shelby is definitely in Bilgewater. Oh, I see.
Oh, yes. So Stevie did it to unlock Fizz, and then just went off to do their own thing. It's a very smart decision because technically you get two copies of Fizz if you and your teammate, well, 2 copies of any champion if you and your teammate just unlock said champion. So, like Yuki and Blonde said, you know, you can simply unlock set on a neutral round. You can unlock virtually any champion on a neutral round if you have the correct prerequisites for it. So yes, a very smart decision by the Sensations, and now they can just look towards their third augment to get something very powerful, like Soul Awakening. This, even though it was nerfed, it's still really powerful.
But there is a golden egg, and who could turn that away? I mean, hold the line is
Certainly not me.
Let's see. I mean, this is from Cypher, who is currently in first place. Decides to go for hold the line, and has the Wukong too. So, with lifting competition, the next cash out at 14,000 is the one that you can reasonably get to. As you were alluding to before, it is possible to get the one which is above that, but it does take an enormous amount of concerted effort. It's almost like functionally a win condition if you can get yourself up and actually get the final cash out, but it doesn't seem like it's intended for anything but the most extreme games.
I mean, 40,000 HP Scion, it's not unheard of. And, you know, I've seen it happen a few times, but it's certainly the exception and not the norm. As we do see here, Cypher with Hold the Line is up against Blonde Unicorn, who has unlocked the set as well as gotten the Yunara. So, yeah, this level 8 board is certainly going to be very strong from Blonde Unicorn.
I do wonder at some point if they might end up with more conditions to unlock some of these units. Like, as you said, the set being obnoxiously easy to unlock for anybody is just kind of suddenly quite different than I might have expected coming into the mechanic early on. But we'll see. Looks like Cypher and Nestus ruling the roost right now from the... Again, I'm going to try and make my best attempt. The Sundalin Nikai? I don't know. I don't know.
Just looks like Sundalin Nikai. No, let's see.
Sundalin Nikai? Yeah. They're doing well, however you pronounce their team name.
Yes, they certainly seem to be in first place. Going up against Yuki, who... Oh, Yuki. Yuki treating us to one of the duo augments, that being the Shyvana and the J4.
Ooh. Yes, the Dragon Guards.
So the Dragon Guards, meaning that this Shyvana is going to be very powerful, along with the Demacia help, and Nestus coming in the nick of time to just help out their partner win. But Yuki is still at level 7, so once she gets to level 8, I think that's when her comp will be extremely more powerful.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big win as well. She said keeping the pink team's win streak alive. Looking across the HP and the rest of the lobby, it's all pretty similar to each other. I mean, of course, we've got the blue team, which is the Demacia and the Bilgewater down on the 30 HP. But do note from Lucario Senpai especially has, got the Bilgewater 7 ticking through and getting quite a lot of extra Bilgewater Silver Serpents, but also has the Champion Duplicator to provide that extra burst of power.
Yeah, now that Duplicator, it's going to impact the game extremely heavily. Because I think it's going to come down to, will Lucario go for a Tahm Kench 2 very quickly, or will it be a case of, I'm going to keep this Champion Duplicator in case I get a 3-cost? Sorry, a 3-star.
It's got to be, that is a real big question, isn't it? When you're this low on HP, a 3-star 4-cost might be your only way out and through. Certainly, we've seen enough of the fizzes going around that it seems less reasonable that he could be an option for you, but maybe the misfortune herself. Certainly what Lucario's got on the board right now is good enough. We'll be going across to reinforce Izzy. We can see that the Team Blue, they're starting to pick up some steam. Que sera, pushing up, and will bring Yuki down to the same level. In fact, we've got now 3 teams around 30 HP, with only the pink team, Cypher and Nestus, able to keep their heads above water.
Oh yeah, 100% with you there. I think it's because they're playing, well, Nestus is definitely playing one of the most contested lines here, but Cypher not being contested on almost any of their bruisers is just going so much in their favor.
So we've got the Tahm Kench in here, though no lesser duplicator. Remember the late game scaling from before, so Nestus will be slowly ticking through I do like the position for Nessus here. Yeah, we've got a good amount of money in the bank, a good amount of Silver Serpents as well. Very comfortable position. Cypher, their teammate, with a 4 bruiser. I don't think he's... Yeah, it's slowly working up to the 1400, but we've got one more sign to get up to 3-star. The big difference there, of course, DG, for the 3-star sign is he will start gaining an enormous amount of health once he hits the 3-star. In fact, we can just take a quick look at it here. So currently, about 1,000 health, but goes from gaining 20 on each takedown to 50 on each takedown.
Yeah, that's a massive increase in power. And I do believe that we are very close to... Yeah, there we go. We are very close to just cashing out the next stage of the lifting competition. But I think you really need to hit almost every 3-star of your other low-cost bruisers to even have a shot at just hitting the final one.
Alright, well there's the 3-star Bard in place, newly buffed as of this patch. Remember, we've got the Hold the Line in place as well. We are still looking for the Aphelios 3 as well. It's not really negotiable to leave that one behind, but at least the pink team have got plenty of time to make that happen with the HP they are working with. Down at the bottom of the table, Blonde Unicorn and Yuki Renner playing in yellow this game. They've managed to get the Ionia 5 online. And for Yuki, we've got the Dragon Guards board you mentioned from before. We don't, as of yet, have the Jarvan 3, which would be ideal. But next round, that will be in place. So a lot more reliability on this combo augment.
And also, what I've noticed there is that Blonde Unicorn has a Shyvana to send to Yuki. So one more Shyvana will be the difference between Yuki getting to that massive win streak or losing. But oh wow, the misfortune towards the end there, taking down Yuki. Okay, the Jarvan 3 has come through. Let's see if she finds another Shyvana. Oh, and that's a boatload of gold to just reroll. Yeah, this board. I believe this board is missing. Yeah. Okay. So this board is missing a Galio, from what I can see.
Yes, so we are one level away from unlocking him, which would be absolutely enormous. So really, a Vayne is what's needed here.
Yep, one Vayne, and we cannot get that. Sadly.
Oh boy.
40 gold rerolled and no Vayne.
Stevie Sensation not inclined to allow the Counters Casual helpers the time they need to get their boards fully together. Stevie has got the dreaded board combination, the Ziggs and the Rise, which we talked about right back at the beginning, as the comp to play today, and pretty much every day, as the yellow team take one loss out of their 2 members, but it's still enough to put them on elimination station.
Oh yeah, it was so close. I think if one more unit had died there on Yuki's side, it probably wouldn't have been as heavy of a loss. But okay, so we have a bunch of gold on Blonde Unicorn's side. So Blonde Unicorn is going for that 3-star. For the 3-star Yunara potentially, and yeah, there we go. The 2-star Vayne is coming. So if they can survive one more round, the next round we are getting the Galio here, and Yuki's board will evolve quite a lot.
Yeah, it must be so frustrating for the 2 of them to run into this kind of roadblock immediately. I mean, Blonde Unicorn's about as strong, I think, as he reasonably could be at this point. We've got a good set, we've got a couple of good backliners, even if one of them isn't Ionian in themselves, rather. Up against Cypher in the round, I think the board may have gotten too strong already. You can see Cypher's got both 3-star backliners and an incredibly strong sign up at the front. I think it could be down to the wire. The set is very late off of the board, so he might be able to come back in and clean up, but he's going to have to punch through one.
Done.
Unfortunately, he doesn't ult the right place. He will be getting a face full of Bard ult, but I think it's not quite. No, it is just good enough.
No.
One Unicorn and Yuki are out of there.
The sad thing is the set needed one extra sit-up to get to the true damage portion. So if he had gotten that one last push-up, it would have been a done deal. Yuki would have just had Blonde would have had that last set, and it would have been the difference maker. Oh, that feels so bad.
So we say farewell to our first team from our first game. Remember, only 3 games we played today. Ghost Kitty, thank you for the follow. Shelby and Steve Sensation, of course, former champions, former double-up champions, are also struggling a little bit. Ziggs 2 coming in is going to be pretty major. Making sure all itemization is as good as it can be. I mean, backline looking very good for Steve Sensation. Frontline looking decently strong. And we've got a lot kicked in already for the Rise and the Runic Overlord. Got the Yordle, we've got the Ionia, which does give the split, so this Rise should do a lot of work, and a life with Ziggs could clean up.
Basically, this is the utility Rise that you go for to spread around a little bit of damage on everyone, but because you have the Morellos and the toxic poisons coming in, it's actually mounting up to deal a lot of damage, and then you have Ziggs to finish up everyone with the big bomb. So this is a very, very strong board, and the Sensations, they're starting to win again, Counter. I see a pattern here.
They're definitely not a team to count out before they are in the ground, and perhaps with the fall of a lot of HP, the rest of the teams will be struggling to deal with them. Kate Sarasara, currently in first place, hit multiple 2-star 5 costs. So we've got the Tam Kench coming from Lucario, from Izzy, the 2-star Galio, which evaded our friends from the Kansas Casual helpers from before. And in fact, we found where all the veins went as well, so if in case Little Blood Unicorn is wondering why that was so hard to get up to the all-important 2-star, Izzy is the one to blame, but we will see. I believe that's Stevie Sensation on the other side, challenging against Izzy. We've got all the long shots, we've got the Demacians. They're not quite as strong as they could be because there's no Ziggs in place as of yet, and I think that's going to allow room for Stevie at level 10 to punch through and hand out some serious hurt.
Yeah, that's that is certainly helping out Stevie. And, well, Lucario actually won their round, so Cypher and Nesta's taking a loss, but they're not at elimination yet. So, this is actually now a really, really interesting, well, let's say ending to our game, but it's certainly not the end yet, because every single team is on 2 lives, but every single team can certainly win it at this point.
Let's see where our streaks are then. So you mentioned Lucario getting the win off the previous round. Has gone down to 5 Bilgewater, and yeah, as you'd expect, getting the Lucian and Senna in place just to try and pump in as many of the legendary units as is possible. The Ziggs 2 is very nice here as well. I don't think it's going to be enabled by anything especially, just going to be relied on for raw combat power. Utility being thrown onto the Misfortune. Instead, we've got an overly fed Tam Kench. But DG, I mean, you've been saying you expect to see the Sensations come through and win out this one. Given how close it is, how confident are you feeling coming into what could easily be the last couple of rounds?
Well, it's certainly looking like we've hit some of these late game boards, but I think the Sensations are probably at the forefront, at least from what I've seen to just win this game. The only thing that I'm sort of I want to sort of a little bit criticize here is Lucario. Is this yes? It is Lucario. So Lucario has not fed their Tam Kench for a few rounds now, and I get it. We have the we want to hit everything, but I think especially one of those 5 costs, if you would have just chucked it Tahm Kench's way, you would have gotten a lot of combat power. I think that's one way you could optimize your board.
Well, the situation for the Sensation seems to be narrow, but still optimal enough. Both of the other teams remaining in the game down to elimination point, so it's going to be a very tight end as to who is going to be leaving this game with the second place and the best positioning if the Sensations remain undefeatable. Lucario has got a very good ball, but I wonder if the damage is quite there. The backliners with the 2 ices between them are spreading a lot of damage around, but they're not getting the kills. That's a big hit to Team Blue on both of them, and with Nestus managing to get the win for Team Pink at the end, that will secure them second place.
Well, that was a little bit anticlimactic. It was just, oh, Sensations, we're just gonna destroy everyone and we're just gonna win.
I mean, it's not a unprecedented situation, I would say.
No.
I mean, you know, if we're kind of coming to this one with favourites at all, Sensations absolutely, as multiple time previous double up winners, would certainly be a favourites coming in. I'm just checking on, let's see, so I believe it was Noxium Lantorius and God of Mid who are reigning champions. I don't believe that they are playing here today, at least as a pair. But I'll check into that during the break because there's a lot of results. Looks like there's still a few ones to come in. I think there was one of the tables which was saying that it was specifically starting a little bit late. So I'm going to see if we can find them. And that way we can have something. There we go. The Book Thieves table, which is table 5. The Sage Sisters, Solo Dogs, Duck Duck Quack, and B&B. That's Black Villain and Ich Bin Batman. Of course, we remember from our tournaments past, we've got some very good teams spread across the entire tournament.
Yeah, a lot of good teams, and well, with us having about, what is it, 23, 24 teams, so quite a lot of players here, so it's incredible to see, and it's going to be very fun to see who is going to come out on top, because like you said, we have some really, really good teams and some very powerful players.
Alright, we'll be jumping onto table 5, assuming it's still going, because unfortunately sometimes the game is a little slow on updating whether or not that is the case, but I don't see any results from this table as of yet reported, so that's at least a reasonable assumption, yes, as we will be jumping across there, that there is a game to be seen. So let's head in to table 5 and see what they've got for us.
Well, I just saw Shadow Isles board lose to a Void board, so this sort of reminds me of the first patch of the set.
Oh, yes. So let's start off here with the Sage Sisters, Book Thief, and I believe Ale. Hopefully, we'll get corrected if that's said more in the variety.
Ale. That's just the only thing that comes to mind. Chants.
Yeah. I mean, it could be ALL. I just guess it depends how much she's into consuming. Well, to me, admittedly, I've never really gotten the taste for. Though I think a lot of people in my country would find it terrible that I don't partake in the ales, the drink of a lot of the people in the UK. Book Thief will be up against Passion Fruit in this time, though. We'll see if it's going to be more of an ale or something more bitter.
Well, it's certainly looking like the Book Thief is on their way to a heist at the local library, because the shadows have been taken away, and we do see 4 players fighting against each other, but the Book Thief and ALL are going to be taken down, because I believe what entered there was a Baron 2.
So that wasn't from them. Oh, it was from Igby and Batman. Okay. Let's see. So we need to kind of catch up on this lobby because we are just jumping into this one in progress. So Woolworth's Water and Broken's Plays. We've got a Freljord 6 board. Oh my gosh. We're gonna... Let's see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I forgot that Freljord 7 was even a thing in the game, which doesn't even require an emblem to get up to. But we might be seeing it from Woolworths. And complementing that Freljord board is a Path of Blades Ionia.
Well, this is a very interesting comp. Well, first of all, that set is even more interesting to look at, but I believe that's going to be a very powerful comp to go into. As okay, so is the Blade Masters Ionia? I just saw it proc on set. But yeah, this comp going up against a Demacia, it's looking like a level 10 board. With the Zillion and the Lucian Senna, it's doing wonders here for Black Villain. So okay, so not level 10, level 9, but it's still extremely powerful.
See, so Carrot and Power Fruit. That is, I'm just trying to find. That's right. Duck Duck Quack is their team name, which charmingly enough.
Passion Fruit counter. Passion Fruit.
Wait, what did I say?
Power Fruit.
Oh no! I've gotten stuck in the previous set. I don't want to choose that one anymore.
Yes, 100%. So it looks like Woolworth's Water and Broken Plays are a random team for this lobby. I believe this is the lobby that had a dropout.
Yes, at the very last second. Still though, I'm impressed. You know, given the fact that we are playing in the normal game queues, I'm always impressed when we see double up teams able to keep up, because you know we are playing with maximum sweat double up teams here. And I'm assuming other people who are playing double up normal games are just, you know, here for a good time.
Well, technically with double up, it's...
Oh wait, is it in the same queue?
It's only one. Yeah, I believe it's the same queue. It's all just a ranked queue, so there are no double up normal games.
No, I think, sorry, I was remembering it the wrong way around. Yes, I think if you queue with 3 teams, you don't gain or lose LP from your game.
Maybe.
If memory serves.
I don't remember the ins and outs because I don't play too much of double up. I do have to admit, but I'll just trust your word for it. But we're on the precipice of this game ending, and even Batman and Black Villain are certainly looking to be a terror duo in this lobby.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly expect to see them be another team favoured to do extremely well in the tournament overall. Remember, of course, as we go through the rounds, the teams with the approximately the same record as each other will be matched up against each other, which theoretically is a less competitive way to do it, but I personally, for this tournament, like doing it that way, because I feel like if people do well in the tournament, they should be made to suffer for their crimes. Whereas the people who struggled early on should get every opportunity to come back into it. Igby and Batman and Black Villain, though, very disinclined to let anybody else get any oxygen in the lobby at all. A heroic effort from the set, but it's not enough to stop the yellow team from being knocked out. Passion Fruit is still going, but also will be eliminated. And that will be Igby and Batman and Black Villain taking the lobby with an impressive streak behind them as well. A statement game, DG.
Oh, 100%. Looking at it there, it was about, 10, 11 wins in a row? That was certainly a, I would say a beat down. even though it's not the greatest of words to use, but it was certainly applicable.
Alright, I believe those were our last results we were waiting for, so I'm going to just kick us off for round 2 on the sly. Oh, Black Violet and a Garen 3, which you got too late. Wow, so you're able to sprint across the finish line. We will be going to a short break while we do get set up for that second round of play. We'll be jumping in with a different lobby to see how everything's been developed. Once we come back from break, of course, we'll be reflecting on the lobbies we didn't get to see across the previous round and getting ourselves ready for the midpoint before, of course, our final round coming at the end of the day, which will determine our champions for today. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back in 7 minutes or less. Howdy, howdy everybody, welcome back to Counters Casual Competition. We're getting things back underway. It's myself and Deadly Ghost. Hello! Behind these screenshots from the previous round. I'm trying to make these a little bit bigger so that DG can have some chance of reading them on our screen share as well. There we go. So, DG, we've got a lot of tables of double up players playing it today, and I thought that we could try and grasp ourselves a little bit of a flavour of how things are looking overall. With 4 lobbies, I believe that we didn't see any of these lobbies during the previous round, though please do correct me if I got any of them wrong. So in this particular one here, Leo and Captain PND running the 2-cost reroll. We were talking about the Echo Vi combination as being very, very powerful. I do like it as a combo together with a, with another 2-cost reroll with a Twisted Fate.
Yeah, it's looking like 2-cost. Well, it's a Bilgewater board that has a 3-star Twisted Fate at the forefront, but it is looking like the 2-cost reroll comps are certainly coming back, at least from an initial overview. But Legendary Soup did win out the lobby.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing in terms of overall tournament approach here is, do you try and go for consistently good results, in which case 2-cost reroll is going to be your friend, or do you try and win the entire thing, which I think you're going to be kind of stretched to if you spend more time, rerolling for 2 costs than anything else. We will be, of course, bringing you our first game of round 2 in just a few moments' time, but let's just jump across. We did see this particular lobby. So let's just grab this one here. So we have Ionia and a full vertical Yordle board, which took first place. I mean, in this case, I think the thing which jumps out to me more is something which I know that you've been playing, the Sona reroll board coming in there for 7s and Mighty towards the bottom, as a kind of another similar approach of getting a consistently good result, relying more on reroll than going necessarily for a fast 8.
Yeah, 100%. It has been something that I feel. Actually, all of the top 3 comps which are displayed here are my most played comps, so very much interesting. But yes, Sona. Before we jump into the next game, Sona has been Sona with the J4 have been really, really powerful, and it was sort of the answer that the pros found into T-Hex, because it would just delete everything else and then just focus on the T-Hex, even if the T-Hex survived. And you had the J4 and the Garen, who could definitely tank a little bit from that comp, but it's proven to be very powerful even here.
Alright, well, let's get things started for round number 2. So this is taking us to table 2, where B&B, that's Black Villain and Igby and Batman, go up against Trinder only, who I've got some very bad news for, which is Mighty and 7, along with Nestas and Cypher, we saw in the previous lobby, and Air Fryer, Chivy and Crazy Smurf to round out our lobby. So the teams playing here in table 2, especially if you can win out here, you're pretty much guaranteeing your spot at table 1 for the final round.
Oh yeah, 100%. Looking at it here, we have. Well, this lobby started out fairly early, I would say, but yeah, just looking at it from here, we do have a lot of good teams. I'm especially looking at Team B&B, because Batman and Black Villain won their lobby, but they are now in table 2, which, well, that's just sometimes matchmaking for you. If you have more people who won the lobby that you can fill out the lobby, sometimes you get paired up in the second lobby. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. And it does look like, more importantly, looking at Chive, now we have a Void board here.
Yeah, and I mean, certainly looking at the early hits, we've got the 2-star Cogmore, a 2-star Rek'Sai in place as well, the Silver Spoon providing that little bit of extra momentum. I mean, given the way that double up works with the extra life on the tail end, there is something to be said for that you can take some losses early on, but it still doesn't shake how much more reliable a game can be when you just get that early momentum as a team, reinforce on each other, and preserve HP in the early going.
Yeah, it's fairly interesting to see what how you like to go for a win streak or a loss streak, depending on your board and everything. And looking at it, I think Chive maybe wanted to go for a loss streak because they just won, because there is a Gangplank sitting on their bench, which if you just put it in instead of that Blitzcrank, would give Vanquisher actually to your XI, which has been dealing a lot of damage to these backline units.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Crazy Smurf is doing. Okay, yeah, but I think that's maybe why we're seeing the Gangplank being kept closer to the cannon than on the field itself. It looks like Crazy Smurf going for the Bilgewater side of things. Chibi going for the Void side. I don't mind this at all. I mean, certainly we've seen especially if we do go around more the reroll style, which admittedly has dropped off somewhat since the nerfs to the 2-cost Bilgewaters coming out the shop, or at least increases in price. Bilgewater still benefits immensely from being strong early on, as we saw there. Reinforcing, I believe, will also allow you to farm Silver Serpents off of your teammates' opponents as well, so you can start snowballing super strong if you can get an early Bilgewater board up and running.
Yeah, but it's also, I'll be completely frank, the Bilgewater nerfs were sort of a slap on the wrist. It was to decentivize too much of a snowball effect, but it really didn't dissuade that many players, because we do see some Bilgewater comps even in solo queue where Bilgewater is certainly weaker, still be played quite a lot, because I think this might ring true for you as well, Counter. Double Up and solo queue don't necessarily always have the same metas, simply because you have a lot of different comps that can be played from a lot of different perspectives. As Mighty is, that's a lot of Sonas and a lot of J4s.
What would we go with? We got 3 rerolls and a slightly magic roll, which is certainly very, very popular Silver Ornament, just because I think there's only one roll, I believe, you can get of literally rolling a 1 on the dice that's aggressively bad. Everything else being very, very strong, so players willing to gamble a little bit on the road to the top lobby. We'll see how Cypher does on the other side with what looks to be a developing Shadow Isles board. Now, of course, you mentioned briefly that the Shadow Isles getting a little bit of a help as of this patch. This isn't, the board with necessarily the Ruined King hero augment in place, but managing to get the early unlocks, huge for getting those stacks rolling in.
Yeah, for sure. And if you can win and help your team, then it's certainly going to be very helpful. How lucky is that? You just unlock Gwen, and you go for team up, and one of the champions you get is Gwen. That is Cypher there. Well, Mordog's blessing has definitely reached Cypher.
Well, you've got to play for your outs, I suppose. You can see them plotting together on the same board. Their opponents, though, from Team Airfryer. So we've got the Bilgewater 5 in place already, as well as the Augmented Power. So we know the gold will be a final augment for nearly everybody in the lobby, but for Crazy Smurf, it'll be Prismatic. So we've got the Void, the Void and the Bilgewater. We talked a little bit about these guys here from before. Win streaks on both their parts. And in terms of, I'm just going to check how much of a spend we've had already. So getting close to 150 spent on the Silver Serpents, mostly in stage 2, just because of how quickly these Bilgewaters have been getting stacked online.
Yeah, it's 100 and if you get to 150, you're really cruising. And if you get 5 Bilgewater at 3-1, 3-2, you can unlock Tahm Kench as early as 4-3. So I think if you have Crazy Smurf here on a very, very good run towards getting that Tahm Kench by the later stages of stage 4, which might be a little bit later than expected, but certainly not too late.
Let's take a look at the B&B then, down the bottom. So they've gone for the more reliable route of the Echo setup here with the Vi, as you'd expect to be seeing. Of course, with all these HP drops early on, they can pick up the newly resurgent Singe into the mix as well. I mean, I don't hate this setup at all. We are in a relatively low augment power lobby, so going for a more early-centric board will hopefully allow him to get online a little bit faster. We can see the power of Echo. If he does manage to reach the later parts of the round, he becomes an unstoppable monster. It's just, you're hoping he doesn't get burst out before he gets there.
Yeah, it's... well... It's sort of the risk you have to take there with the... I would say with any board you would have to take that risk, but I think in this particular comp you have to pay especially mind especially with your positioning, because your carry is sort of trying to be in the front lines. They're doing a lot of damage. You do have other comps with other frontline carries that do offer some safety, like the Belvet, like even the Rek'Sai in the Rek'Sai reroll. She does become a little bit untargetable when she goes underground. But yeah, with this comp, it's sort of now or never. It's a now or never type ordeal, and once you're in, you kind of never go out.
Well, Black Valen gets the 3-star Echo in place. I imagine won't be overly worried about getting the Vi up into a similar situation from before, but with the changes to Zorn, suddenly if we can get some of the, potentially the Zorn 7 online, take advantage of those extra bit of shimmer coming in, you see very close to getting the Warwick unlock as well, just needs to be up one more level and get the full bonus online. We'll see if the purple team can pull themselves back up from what has been a rather inauspicious start.
I think with this comp, you're sort of expected to lose a little bit early on because you have to unlock the Singe, and because it is a reroll comp, you're sort of waiting a little bit to get to your power spike, and we're seeing it right here. After Singe has been unlocked, it's almost smooth sailing for this board, and especially with on the other end, because you have Leona, Zoe. I'm sorry, is that a Targon board in the making?
Ooh. Now this is something I don't think either of us were reasonably expecting to see, because while Aurelian Sol himself has received a fairly substantial buff to his main spell damage, Diana got absolutely gutted as of this patch, so I don't know if I like this at all, DG, because you spend comparatively little of the game with Aurelian Sol active and stacked compared to the kind of power spike that Diana was otherwise providing.
Yeah, I think it's certainly looking towards being an ASOL board. So I played this a little bit. I had the perfect opportunity to play a Targon board with my early augments. So you're sort of looking for a Warden frontline and have ASOL be your main carry, and you don't even have that many Targon units to help you out. You're basically fielding a lot of frontline and tanky options just to help ASOL stack up for you. So you can keep the Leona because she is a very incredible tank. If you want, you can pivot this line a little bit with Diana as well to help you for her to help you out with the backline damage. But the essence of the comp is you play ASOL and you have him be your main source of damage, and you have enough frontline for him to stack up, especially if you can get a Rage Blade going for your Aesol, to just have him stack up as much Stardust as possible.
I don't hate the Morello in this kind of setup here, though, for bringing a little bit of extra attack speed, but I know Aurelion Sol also does a ludicrously huge AoE across pretty much the entire board, so the itemization may not be absolutely ideal, as you pointed out. I mean, if this is the Gwynsu's drop, that would be fantastic. We've yet to receive our promised Aurelion Sol rework, but we will be getting Aurelion Sol unlocked as of this round, so it could be Batman. If this purple team can hold on long enough, this Aurelion Sol will be able to solo the boards by himself. The only problem is, we're at level 7, a decent amount of gold, but HP is not Team Purple's friend.
Certainly not ideal. Okay, so we're going for... I don't hate this. You're kind of forced to slam items quite a lot. You kind of have to slam. You have to use up a lot of your items simply because there's a lot. You've already lost a lot of HP, and you need immediate power because otherwise you're sort of doomed. So Batman with a very difficult decision here. Oh wow, the Fizz in the Playful Trickster dodging the stun from the Leona and then one-shotting the Aesol. That is so unlucky for Batman.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredibly big eggs in one basket kind of combo. We can see there on the right-hand side, around, nearly 6,000 damage done, but if it doesn't go in the right places, it's not going to matter how much damage you can do overall. If Batman does find a little bit more tankiness maybe for the rest of the team, but we'll be keeping a close eye on how Batman does overall. On the other side, of course, Zorn 7 shouldn't be very far away for his teammate Black Villain to hopefully start winning some rounds, making his way across, and making sure that Batman has the additional frontline from his teammate to give Aurelion Sol time to stack.
Yeah, it's certainly looking to be that way. I think Black Villain forgot that he had to level up to 7 to get that Warwick, so I think we did a little bit of an oopsie.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we've got Mess Hall in place to at least provide a little bit more power once the Warwick does come online, but you're right, that's a chunk less power. We can see from Cypher on the other side, play for Team Pink, we're already starting to move more towards the end zone.
Ooh.
The Shadow Isles board has been stacking up, and reinforcements coming through very quickly as well, able to get right onto the back line, and I think this is going to spell trouble for Team Purple. AP Batman is still fighting with the Aurelion Sol board. Unfortunately, is able to get the win by himself, otherwise the Purple team could be spiraling quickly.
Yeah, it's not dire straits as of yet. I think if Batman can make some gold, get to that level 9, maybe put in another frontliner, it should be much better. But as of now, we are basically, if red is danger, we're nearing orange.
Well, Team Yellow have also in a similar spot as Team Purple, down on the 33 HP respectively. So the Demacia and Ionia, which this is the Spirits. So this is the one which is, I suppose, more reasonably said to be the kind of the reroll oriented version of this. Or at least trying to make sure you've got a very, very solid front line, trying to draw out these rounds as long as possible. Blackfield on the other side does find the Warwick that was missing from before, so Zorn 7 is online, and the Echo's power is unleashed. But we can see, from our teams tied on HP at the bottom, Purple and Yellow, only Black Villain came out of that last round with a win.
Yeah, it did look like that. I think Batman maybe got lucky in that previous round, but, well, I guess the tier was very important because Batman's board actually would have leveled up quite a lot with that Lissandra, but I think tiers were definitely missing from that board. So what I think here is happening is Batman really needs to get to that level 9. we're at 50 gold now. We have we're just re-rolling now. Okay. I guess you kind of have to go for that immediate power. But interesting. We have the Lissandra. We're not fielding her. Maybe the Freljord was not in the cards for Batman, but yeah, it's a board. It's a board that needs power.
I wouldn't have at all minded seeing the Shojin being put in there for the Relic Soul just to cast a little bit faster. If we take a look at his skill, we can see where we lie. So right now, we don't have that much Stardust in place. Ideally, 175 gets us to the knock-up, which means Aurelian Soul can buy time for himself in the round just by mass CC. But until you get to that point, you're very vulnerable. There is reinforcements coming in. Ikmin Batman hasn't done a good job so far, but will get overwhelmed. The Aurelian Soul should be able to get one more cast off. No, gets dropped. The teammate coming in. Echo needs to clean up here and buy more time for Team Purple, but he can't do enough by himself. Purple down to 24, but the yellow team, Mighty and Sevens, both take the L, and they could well be headed for a swift exit.
I think Black Villain winning on his own there is giving so much help towards these, so much help towards this team, simply because it just gives the Aurelian Soul a lot more time to just stack up, get towards that massive knock-up stage. And we did see it there. Batman started his ASOL started that round with about 60-70 Stardust, and it got to 115. So we're slowly but surely getting there. And with each and every upgrade it becomes much more easier to stack up. So, 162 now. I think with the neutral round, we're definitely going to get to 175. And come stage 5, Batman is certainly going to be a much more formidable force to be reckoned with.
As you said, we were hoping to see Black Villain win out his round quickly and come over to reinforce. It very much did happen in that previous round. The main opponents, of course, Team Pink up at the top with the Demacia board and the Shadow Isles board from before, managing to find a very, very early Zerath and even a second Zerath at level 8. Means that Cypher is very much set up along with Nestas as a major, major threat to overcome for the entire lobby going forwards.
You know what's also really funny here, Counter? We have 69 HP, which, first of all, nice. Second of all, if Cypher wins, I believe, one more round, he can then go on the biggest lost streaks and just unlock the full might of the Shurimans. So 2 more rounds. And then you can... And then this is Cypher. So Cypher can just win 2 more rounds, then go on the biggest lose streak ever, and because they have enough HP, it would give him enough time to unlock Nasus as well.
Yeah, I mean, the threat, you're right, is already overwhelming for the rest of the lobby, but that is very much the win button that will put things beyond any form of questioning. Do you see the Misfortune board on the other side? Definitely a whole different level. As Crazy Smurf takes the L. We haven't talked about the Team Blue for a little while, Air Fryer. But they've got the 7 Bilgewater and the Juggernaut Void board. This is the lower cap version of Void that will ideally allow you to get a decently strong top 4 when otherwise it's too expensive to start fishing around for something like the Baron itself.
Yeah, so this is the board you use when you get to level 8. So you sort of do a roll down. You're hoping to get the Kaisa 2, which we don't really have yet, which needs to change. And once Strive hits that 2-star Kaisa, maybe a 2-star Shyvana, still be need a 2-star Singed and a 2-star Cho'Gath to come through. Once those upgrades come in, this board is actually becoming much more powerful here. So it's a board that sort of, I guess Chive leveled up at 8, but didn't really get to do too much, which is kind of unlucky. But you know, it is what it is.
Check in with Mighty. Team Yellow are on elimination point right now. Remember, this is Lobby 2. Whichever team wins out here is guaranteed a spot in the finals here today, yet to come. Mighty, I think it has just about got enough in the bank to be able to push through Chive for now. Yes, managing to delete the Kaiser off the backside 7s. In a similar spot, they get both wins. As Igby and Batman takes the L, Black Villain the W. We're down to a lobby which has almost no HP left in it. Even the blue team in second barely got the 2 lives in place. Apart from, of course, the spare life comes from just playing double up at all. But I mean, you compare it to what we're seeing from Team Pink up the top, 57 HP.
Oh, Cypher didn't get to unlock. Oh, this is so big for the rest of the lobby.
Yeah, no Renekton.
No Renekton for Cypher, which means this lobby has been blown wide open. And I do want to point out, Team Blue have been taking heavy losses because in the HP department, they were fairly close to Nestas and Cypher. But they've taken some really heavy losses, and Black Villain and Batman are back to getting towards that top 2 place, which they have a victory from their first lobby. They might make the final lobby yet, but this Echo being the prime target for Kaisa is not helping Black Villain out at all. And yeah, it does look like Black Villain's streak is coming to a close.
A little help from the friends, but fortunately for Team Purple, Mighty and Sevens will be the first ones eliminated, so at least that's 1 more point secured overall. So we're left in a situation where Team Pink have been dominating for quite a while, trying to put themselves beyond any possibility of recovering. As Blondie will update us for the 4th again. Oh boy.
I'm actually surprised that Black Villain didn't go for a Zon emblem or a Disruptor emblem.
Oh yeah, but yeah, particularly with the disrupting potential of our friend Echo there. I mean, I'm trying to think where if you put the Disruptor emblem onto the Singed, you could be, disrupting the entirety of a team very quickly. But Team Purple, they're down to a single life between them. Aurelian Soul, he's got up to 337, very close to 400, which would be another further damage increase. The big problem, of course, though, DG, is that Batman has been operating with very little money for a while, has managed to claw his way to level 9, but the 2-star Aurelian Soul could be very far away. We've got a few more casts coming in. I believe 1 more cast will get up the enhanced version of the spell. But keep your eye on that Kaiser, because she is going to be chewing the board to pieces in a hurry.
I think we really needed to have those zillion items come. Oh, but Black Villain is coming here, and just in the nick of time. And it could just be the difference maker. Never mind.
I say, if the Echo had come in at full HP, maybe, but instead, it's going to be a crushing disappointment. We've got 2 more teams left to play, Air Fryer and the Pink team, who I will leave to you. I think you did a much better job of pronouncing their name than I did. It's worth noting, though, that the Air Fryer did win both of their previous contests, so this isn't a done deal, even given how far apart the 2 teams' HP is.
So let's go with Sandelini Kai. I believe that's. I think that's as good as I can get with pronouncing it.
Sandelini Kai. Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Yeah. I need to write that down somewhere. Alright, so Sandelini Kai will be the Pink team. We'll be seeing the Demacian board from the other side. I do like as well, we've got the Quicksilver being brought in as a great way to block some forms of aggression. Not the Fizz, though. Fully itemized. DG, Fizz has definitely been finding new life recently. with the fully itemized version, which can come in and just delete a backliner. So that's one down. Cypher, he's going to get reinforced onto. The Shadow Isles have been stacking, but I don't think they're good enough to take down 2 boards at once.
No, certainly not. And Cypher... Has Cypher sold their Viego in favor of board power?
Yeah, it looks like it.
This is the most interesting thing that I've ever seen.
So, I've played a little bit of Shadow Isles, almost certainly not as much Shadow Isles as they've played here, but there is a point beyond which, you can see that the actual stats you're getting from Shadow Isles isn't hugely different from 4 to 5 compared to what you can conceivably be getting from other parts of the competition. I think given that Cypher is also ideally hoping to bring in another Shurima unit, that something is got to give somewhere. Cypher will be going to level 9, so that opens up the extra slot on the board, but unfortunately can't find anything major to put in as of yet.
I think... Yeah, so we're 4 losses, so we need 2 more losses to get to that Nasus. Maybe Nestas can fit in on Nazir and go for that 2 win streak and try to get 4 Shurimans like that.
Let's
but
see.
it's a Rageblade onto a...
Oh, sorry, just a second. I just wanted to take note of the Fizz coming to the backline. Completely deletes one backline carry. The Kindred is too late on the cast to save most of the damage of the team, but that is brutal. A Misfortune cleaning up the last backline carry as well. That's 1 win for the blue team, but crucially not 2. They're not on elimination point as of yet, but they are as close to it as they could be.
I think whoever is facing the Fizz is certainly looking at a very dangerous encounter, especially because from what I can see, that's a Misfortune 3. That's a Misfortune 3, and Crazy Smurf also skipped over a Fizz.
Alright, well, if you needed an answer to all the questions, Misfortune 3 is on the cards to bring the blue team back from the brink. Certainly can't assassinate this one. It's going to be a very quick win. Bear in mind, this is not a instant win scenario for the blue team. They can still lose on the board, which doesn't have the 3-star forecast. It won't be happening this round, though.
Yeah, it's... wow. This is some craziness. I thought the days of 3-star forecasts were over with the new double up system counter.
Apparently not. I mean, we don't. At least suppose we don't have a 3-star Kaiser, which is good news. I suppose the question is, let's see. So, could either of them beat the Kaiser board quickly enough? I think best case scenario for Team Pink here is that both teams take a loss and both teams go down to elimination point as of this round.
It's funny because both comps for Nestas and Cypher are comps that sort of need a little bit of time to ramp up, which is exactly what this 3-star Misfortune wants, because Misfortune just jumps in, destroys everything, and you don't have enough time. And just to point out, well, as we do get a Ziggs there, despite the 3-star Misfortune, this Fizz has a Lich Bane, and Fizz casts his ability quite often, so just being this incredibly unreliable carry to turning into the most reliable backline destroyer by 1 artifact is something that's really, really interesting to me.
Oh, I mean, I think he's just brutal however you end up using him. Then Crazy Smurf on the 6-round win streak. I think the problem is at this point is that Chibi is just... it's too beefy of a board to take down quickly. So I think at this point, Team Pink are just going to have to settle for 2nd place. I don't think it was at all reasonable to see the 3-star Misfortune. We'll see it on Crazy Smurf's side. So let's check out the other battle, because this is the only place Actually, wait. No, there's no way for this to turn around, is there? It's gonna be
No,
just
it
misfortune
had to have
coming in
been
and killing
It
everybody.
had to have been last round. Yeah. If anything were to happen, it had to have been last round, and the fight was already over on the other side. And the misfortune wasn't even really needed here because the Ziggs just destroyed everything.
Well, it's with an earth-shattering kaboom that our game of round 2 comes to a close, thanks to an astonishingly shocking misfortune 3 coming out of absolutely nowhere. I'm with you, DG. I don't know if our players were even necessarily looking for that to happen. Of course, the Bilgewater shop does, get rid of a lot of that kind of variability in terms of making sure that you've got access to at least a couple more misfortunes than it seems like you do. You can just keep one locked in your shop for a while, and then just, go through, buy it from the shop, make a big roll down, get it sent across from your teammate as well, and then you're sorted.
I mean, to be fair, there we did have 300 coins in the black market, and then it was just two misfortunes being bought. So it was effectively 4 misfortunes getting purchased in one round.
Ooh, let's take a quick look and see if we've got any tables that are still going on. I think, let's see. I'm going to look through my friends to see if we've got anybody I recognize. So there's... Oh, wait. I think there may be a game that's going on. I'm going to jump in and see if that is the case. We've got about a minute's delay coming into that one, so... Ooh. Looking across the rest of the lobby, it looks like we've got most of the results from Table 1 right now having come in, with We Miss Pills and Fluffy Fluffed coming in 3rd and 4th. Team Angio and the Sensations currently battling it out for 1st place overall. Of course, Air Fryer and probably Team Pink from the previous one, Cypher and Estas, likely to go into Table 1 to compete for the top spot, while everybody else, of course, will be fighting and clawing each other for the duration of round 3.
Yeah, it's looking like Oh, sorry. I'm just looking at some of the things. Well, we're about to have one team with 16 points, but you have 15 points as well. No, just just looking at the cheat sheet a little bit, but yes, it does seem like we're.
So where I think you're going with this is that we've actually got as we'll jump into one of the other ongoing lobbies, is that we have got a very, very contested top of the table in this tournament with currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams on 14 points overall. Only Air Fryer, Crazy Smurf, and Chibi on 15 as of this moment. We'll see if that changes at all with the last 3 results coming in.
Well, look, we're here at table 3, I believe, and we still have 3 teams in this lobby, with, I believe, Team Bonjournen being the top of our lobby. Have to use my French here a little bit, just a little bit. Seeing as we were at the Paris Open.
Yeah. We learn all the good swear words.
Well, of course, how to say. I think the first one I learned was how to say, the nasty word for poo. So that one was the first one that I learned. I know about you.
Oh, I mean, I imagine that our players in this lobby are using every one of the swear words they've learned and every one of the languages they've learned, because Bonjour and the team in yellow currently on 59 HP are just rolling it over the lobby. We've just seen an upgrade to a Thresh 2 come in. We've got the Azir and the Callista on the backline, all looking fantastic. I don't know if it's possible for Bonjour to be able to reach up to table 1, but I think this is probably going to be a very short trip into the alternate lobby, as we've got one team going down to 1 HP. I believe the other team going down to 1 HP. No, 0 HP, as it turns out, out of that round. So, Enarus and VDJ on their victory tour right now.
Well, I don't see... Well, actually, let me take a quick look to see if Team Bonjour even have a chance. I believe they do counter, because their first game they got a 2nd place. So if they win, they could potentially get to our final lobby.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for the final round. As we mentioned before, with it being so close between the teams, it's very likely that the results of the 2nd lobby will also be important in the results overall. We're probably going to have to do a lot of tie-breaking to figure out who our overall winner is, especially in double up. The results do tend to be very stacked one way or the other. Enarus, though, on a 5-round win streak, we're looking to close out the lobby with that first place, as you said. One more place towards the very top. And I think we get to have demonstrated for ourselves just how strong the Shadow Isles can be. I might eat my words, though. Down to the wire. Poho will not lose this round. And Dave Pasta from the... I believe that must be the West Country Pastas, managing to hold on for one more round.
Yes, it does seem to be the case. Oh! Well, I just got a little bit of a... I just got a little bit of a spoiler, but I am not going to be mentioning it. Pretend like nothing's happening. What I was going to say here is... this Fizz is certainly not the Fizz from last game for Dave Pasta, because this Fizz got immediately eliminated and didn't do quite a lot. But we do see a misfortune and counter. I see about 7 of them. We're dangerously close to a certain situation.
So is that a... Okay, I was like, that isn't the misfortune that's waiting there on the field. No, just the item being picked up. I don't... Let's see, so we need 2 more to complete. I don't think there's enough time left in the lobby or enough Silver Serpents in any variety to get this one through. I think Dave Pastor, particularly taking the trifecta as a pass to the late game, is not going to be helping him a whole lot more now. Team Yellow, they didn't manage to finish off the game in the previous round. Let's see if they can do it the second time round, DG.
Well, certainly in this round, it's not looking like it. This Thresh has been doing so much damage, and Dave Pasta is going to get eliminated. Poho has been doing wonders with this Void Juggernaut comp, something that we didn't see happen in our first game. But Team Bonjour is going to definitely going to take the win here, and I think they might be at the edge of just making it through.
Alright, so with that done, I believe that's all of our games finished for round 2. We will take ourselves a quick break. This time, I swear, I will actually remember to get the adverts in during the break to make sure that we don't get caught out during the final round of play. So stay tuned. We will have that final game, possibly final games for you, and then we'll be revealing who will be the winner of Casual Competition number 111th. There won't be a tournament this well numbered for another 111 tournaments to come after this. So stay tuned and see who can get the biggest and numberless crown of them all. Howdy, howdy, everybody. We just had to chase out some ruffians from the caster booth who were telling us all sorts of terrible things in languages I certainly didn't understand. But I've been assured they were terrible, terrible things that would curse many a generation upon this land. But DG, fortunately, that's not the case for everybody. We are blessed for what should be an astounding last lobby to end out today. You were pointing out before that the overall scores are actually very, very tight towards the top of the table. I'll see if I can bring them up on the screen, but currently we've got Team Angio as the only undefeated team in the entire competition. With three more teams, Airfryer, Bonjournement, and the Sensations, all just a single point behind.
Well, our final lobby is going to be very, very interesting.
I certainly hope so. Sorry. I'll see if we can bring up the results on screen. We can. I'll thank you for the follow, Mr. Lager. So, here's the slightly wonky looking results that will hopefully give you guys an idea of how everything is playing out at the moment. So, DG, you did mention that there is a possibility, particularly if we see Team Angio, Alu and Senua go out in maybe last place in this lobby yet to come, of seeing one of our 14-point teams, of which there's quite a few, it's basically the majority of the teams remaining in the tournament. If any of them get a first place, then it's very possible for them to at least challenge for second overall.
I think simply looking at our current scores and how our lobbies are going to be looking like, I think our top lobby is definitely going to decide the winner, but I think the second lobby is definitely going to be mixing it up for second place.
Hey, I mean, given how short the tournament is, that does tend to be how it's going. I would say, honestly, from my point of view, I consider it more of a design benefit rather than the flaw that anybody can win pretty much up until the end of the competition. But I think Team Angio, who I will attempt to dig out, let's see, so Senua and Elo, I'm going to see if we can at least find what they were playing in the previous game, if I can rummage through the results quickly enough. Let's see, there was a lot of builds for all being played, as you'd expect. Not their lobby. I guess it's probably going to be lobby 2 or lobby 1. Alright, can't find it in the immediate. We'll not worry about it too much. As you said, Digi, it's all about the points. It's all about getting themselves across the line. So Digi, imagine yourself in this situation. Your Team Angio, you've won 2 games so far. All the attention, all the pressure is on you as a team. How would you like to see them approach this one, knowing that based on tiebreakers, they probably still need to get a first place in this game as well?
Oof. That would be my first sentence, but I think I would have a little bit of confidence, simply because, hey, we've done this for 2 games in a row, especially because a few of our opponents we've already faced, so we've certainly know that we can beat them, and we did it once, so why not just do the thing we've done, which has certainly proven to be effective, and just win overall.
I mean, it's certainly a pretty big statement of intent to have the Unleashed Thresh as your avatar coming into the game. To be able to presumably combine with your existing Thresh, and maybe Thresh reinforcing to your board, so you can make a 3-star 5 cost. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Well, the Thresh is certainly a statement game, I think, or it may just be good luck. I know I have some potential, let's say, some of their loadouts that I wanted to get to sort of have a good game, and I certainly feel like I do have more luck, let's say. So I think it could be just a superstition thing.
Well, luck has been favouring Angio so far. Again, remember that Angio is ahead by a single point in this final lobby. Airfryer, Bonjournan, and the Sensations all with equal points to each other. They're the only teams on 15 overall, so if any of them can win in this lobby, then they would not only should be able to keep Angio from getting that first place to get the clean sweep, but it will mean they will definitely stay ahead of anybody on lower points than them in the competition, guaranteeing at least some kind of prize from today's double up.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly looking like it could be the case, but oh, it's an echo. It's an echo here for Elud, I believe. So they're definitely looking to start out strong.
Let's do a quick overview of the lobby then. So we've got a very clear push into Echo reroll from our purple team here, Team Anglio. See if we got anything complimentary on the other side. Legion of 3. So looks like both of these entries here are going to be revolving more around lower cost reroll from the purple team. I don't know if I like that necessarily as an idea, just because, you know, while we see it do well, DG, you point out yourself that there are, you know, some of these 5-cost centric compositions that can very much ultimately beat out reroll compositions if they get all the way to the end game.
Yeah, but the problem is you have to get to that into the late game, and if you get to the late game and have very little HP, then all it takes is just, you know, one misstep, one bad positioning, and then you're kind of through for the whole tournament. So it's a very difficult spot to find in, because if you're playing one of those late game boards, you really have to have enough HP and enough of everything. Well, econ and or reroll augment to simply just help you out. But you know, it's a high risk, high reward comp, but they're reaping the rewards sure feels nice.
All right, let's get those team information up on the screen. So far, Team Angio, again, all tournament leaders, they managed to maintain a clean streak when picking up the slightly enhanced Bloodthirster, but more importantly, just getting that second item on the Echo means that he's already very, very hard to deal with. Sunfuck 8 from Enarus does cut the healing, but I don't think it's going to be enough to stop the purple team's path. Senua, though, I eat my words instantly, takes an L thanks to Shelby bringing out the Graves with, I believe, the Darkin Bow at the bottom end of things. An early Graves puts pay to the early win streak from purple.
Win streak is gone, and no one seems to be on a heavy win streak or loss streak. So I think econ for most teams has been broken, and that just means chaos has started in this lobby as early as stage 2-4.
Yeah, it's a really interesting position to be in. Again, just to reiterate what we were talking about before, for the majority of the teams in this lobby, they really just need to finish ahead of each other to be able to pretty much guarantee the second place overall, though it's not a certainty. The only way to get it for sure is to beat out the currently undefeated Team Angio, playing in purple this game. As I said, not with a complete streak, but we'd have to imagine Senua, who of course have gone for the 3-cost century augment, will be picking up quite a lot of power as we head towards the mid-game.
Yeah, for me, this screams that maybe we're going for a 3-cost reroll comp, or maybe we're continuing down the Shadow Isles. Well, actually, no, scratch that, because Viego has no items. So I was thinking that maybe we'd be doing some Shadow Isles shenanigans here, but certainly isn't looking like it.
It's certainly you get the emblem thanks to the Legion of Threes, and it's a quick striker emblem, so I wouldn't be at all upset to see Senua going for the Draven style composition and be able to bring in another 3 cost, or indeed any other unit. It doesn't need to be a 3 cost, and just stick the quick striker emblem on them as well. It means you could conceivably be looking at a lot of power once those 3 costs come online, and again, just pair with pretty much anything else you like long term.
Oh, technically, the augment also tells us that all allies with an emblem, so this might just be maybe a void comp with just trying to slap in a useful emblem. Because, to me, that's the only logical thing that's coming out here, because Senua here is going for a fairly big loss streak. We have a lot of econ being built up in a lobby where it hasn't been very econ heavy, so it could just be the case of we're going for a void comp, but with a quick striker emblem to help out. So maybe we'll just see a Kindred in the later stages of the game replace that Viego.
Alright, well, let's take our way around the board and see what else is on the line as Team Purple. Team Angio, the current tournament leaders, do take an L in the previous round. The Sensations moving into pole position. Looks like Stevie Sensation is going for the strongest board. And this is, yes, the Darkened Bow from the Graves came in before, which has been sneaking Shelby some pretty solid hits in so far. Bilgewater is active. I'm really intrigued to see where this board goes long term.
Yeah, well, usually when you see the dark... Oh, that's 2 Dravens, but we're selling... If I see a bow, the Darkened Bow here, I'm usually thinking, oh, we're going for Yunara, maybe we're doing some late game Ionia, or maybe Yunara plus X comp, because we have seen a lot of those in the past, but it does look like it's just a Darkened Bow Bilgewater Graves comp.
Well,
which is certainly interesting.
Well, we've got the Spatula on bench as well, so we could make a quick striker emblem of our own. But I suppose within combination with the Twisted Fate, now we've got especially having the Deathblade in here as well. If Graves gets to go long enough through the round, he's going to be attacking very, very quickly, thanks to those Twisted Fate stacks you can see. He already gets going pretty fast, and then of course with the extra attack speed, he'll be firing some very powerful arrows across the rest of the field, particularly once he hits 3-star.
Yep, and what also happens there is you have a Graves in your shop, you have a lesser Bilgewater duplicator, so it could just be a case of we're getting to 50 gold, we're just gonna roll down for our last 2 Graves, and then that's that. Oh.
We're still on Shelby Sensation. We've got the chance to shenanigans. I know with the most recent buffs to emblems, it's always going to be a little tempting to try and find a way to fit in more of them.
It's the emblem patch counter. I don't think we're gonna see anything less than an emblem. So the really big thing I have here is, can that quick striker emblem be turned into a second Bilgewater emblem? Because if it is, the Sensations are winning this tournament.
Well, it's going to depend on whether there's a win or loss for Shelby in this round. Quick striker going to Graves means that, given that he gets attack speed for each time he attacks a target who is marked by Twisted Fate, any attack speed on him is sort of multiplicative, because he's going to be able to attack faster, stack his own attack, and that means that's a win, and I believe that will lead to a Spatula rather than a Pan. So,
yes.
yeah, we'll at least allow for access to Bilgewater a little bit faster.
Oh. Well, that's 5 Bilgewater if there's a tier in that item anvil. And
There is.
surprise, there is one. So what are we? Oh, and we have an Nautilus. There we go.
Nice.
So that is 5 Bilgewater active. We have 1 Bilgewater spat. We have so the sensations could do something extremely risky and go for Pandora's box and hope that Quick Striker emblem turns into a Bilgewater emblem and get to 10 Bilgewater like that, or maybe you just get another emblem augment on for 2 and see what happens.
I mean, based on what we've got right now, I start hating the Quick Striker at all, as we were talking about before. Yeah. Especially with the Quick Striker emblem being one of the many emblems that got buffed in this patch. I believe the heal, I want to say, the 15% max health, particularly once Graves hits 3-star, and with the max health enhancements from Bilgewater, he's going to be extremely hard to put down as he's continuously stacking up. And bear in mind, with the Darkin, he's already got a little bit of Omnivamp in place as well, so I think the Sensations, they've got boards which are just nightmarishly hard to deal with, but we need to talk about some of the other compositions taking place here as well. Team Airfra, let's see, we've got Bilgewater and we've got Longshot. I presume this is going to be I would have assumed that otherwise. Oh no, of course, right. This is one of the Void boards come in, and Crazy Smurf is aura farming for a Senna 2.
Well, yeah. Aura farming Senna 2, so I'm guessing this is going to be just a Bilgewater board looking towards MF.
I mean, HP-wise, the team isn't looking amazing so far, and it's a bit unfortunate to not have the 5th. I assume it's Gangplank we're missing here to be able to... Oh no, never unlocked Graves. Okay, that will be happening as of that next round. A little bit unfortunate, which may be one of the reasons why the pink team are behind the curve in the lobby.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe they forgot about that option. Maybe they were focused on a few other things, but sometimes it happens. But it's still not dire straits.
And Eros handing out the pain. Civi as well taking another L, as those straits do start to get a little bit more dire. Got the blue team, known as Bonjon, who have decided to go for early power. I know, DG, you were fishing for this comp before yourself. For VDJ, this is a very, very good start. Not just a 3-star Sona, but a 3-star Jarvan as well. That's a ludicrous amount of power across an early board.
And, well, that is... Wait, that is 3, 6, 8, 9. So we have 10 star levels of Demacia. If we get to 12, we unlock Galio very quickly. And what do we? Well, if we just get that Poppy to 2-star, that would be. Oh, I thought they got sold. Turns out they were just moved. But yeah, if we get to 12-star levels next round, we are getting Galio at 4-1, which is going to be fairly early, and it's going to be extremely, extremely interesting to see how VDJ evolves this board. On the other end, we saw a level 6 board have an Ornn helping out there. So, yeah.
Was that on Eneros' side?
No. It was one of the team purple.
Oh gosh. Let's see. Pink?
Or was it pink?
It was
pink. There we go.
Okay, so Crazy Smurf at least getting some good luck to I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it? You know you've only going to get so much luck here at Table 1, battling up for the entire tournament crown. The Crazy Smurf, get high rolling the Orn, which is great for the Warden, but in a situation where you've got very little HP to work with as a team, means you may not be able to get the kind of full benefit of the Orn that you might be able to under other circumstances.
I mean, certainly, it's certainly helpful, especially for Crazy Smurf, because they got a very early Orn there on their board, and so to just have some artifacts getting ready here, it could be extremely nice for them. Oh, and let's see. Yeah, I was just about to say maybe next round we're leveling to 8, but no. We are leveling to 8 right now, and we don't buy a fizz. I guess Crazy Smurf is actually trying to go for a legendary soup comp instead of a Bilgewater comp, seeing as they know that Bilgewater is heavily contested in this lobby and they didn't quite get a lot of their upgrades.
Yeah, I believe at least 3 players bring it in, even if you're just, a more temporary destination. Send you out on the other side. Remember, this is the Power of 3 board from before, so we are seeing a little bit of what we'd expect to see. The Quick Striker board, of course. So let's see, so well, we'll hopefully get a chance to see in a second just exactly how this board has come together. I'm just trying to remind myself, so let's see, your 3-cost champion and all allies equipped with an emblem. So, in this case, I think I certainly in my head had it in mind that it was the trait for which the emblem was applicable here, but in this case it's actually not. So, we've ended up in a situation where we've got 1 3-cost, and that's it, it looks like.
Yep, 1 3-cost and then emblem, and then whoever gets the emblem, which in this case will be the Shyvana.
Alright. I'm interested to see what this ends up for the squad overall, because it's not the sort of level of committal to the 3-cost I would have expected. Against Chibi on the other side, though, already Team Pink, aka Air Fryer, are low on the HP. I think having the Kindred this early means it's going to be very hard to get the damage where it needs to be, but Draven's spending a lot of the round being just tossed up in the air and CC'd. Means he's not doing as much damage as he should be doing. He will, I think, take a little bit of incidental damage and maybe go down. No, he's on his last legs, down to 0 HP, gets saved by the Kindred again, and Chibi's going to be taking a hard knock as Crazy Smurf takes the same. They're down to 6 HP. TG, look at the HP compared to the rest of the lobby.
It's dire straits. It's dire straits right now, and okay. I thought we were going to forget about fielding the Senolution, but we're missing a gunslinger to help out that Senolution, because after the nerfs, you sort of need that second gunslinger to help you out, and a random Yunara is not the thing you want helping you out.
No, it feels like there's just been too much pressure on the Pink team to be able to get to the late game board we're hoping for together. I mean, let's see, yeah, Senna, that little bit less strong than before. At least Senna's not under too much threat so far. And with the artifact being completed by the Orn, he is a significant tanky presence. Team Pink, they've got one bit of good news. Reinforcements means that Shiv will be able to win as well. So far, the Pink team are holding on, but by a thread.
Certainly by a thread, and certainly a very low hanging thread. But Crazy Smurf is about to get a second Azir. So if we get to Azir 2, and if we can magically get to level 9, it might still be possible for Team Airfryer to bring it back into the game.
It's so tricky though, isn't it? Because we were talking about the Azir circumstances from before. If you're on a lot of HP, you've got a lot of options to get those unlocks. When you're on almost no HP, the best you're going to be hoping for is just to get Renekton on the field before having to give up on unlocking anything else at all. See, so we've got the blacksmith, so we've got the 2 artifacts in place. The Flicker Blade's got to be pretty tempting for the center. The Horizon Focus.
You really need what was it? The Swain. I think Swain is the best utilizer. Is the best utilizer for Horizon Focus, or even a Loris like we see on the other side here. But Diorn has died. The Lucian is struggling to defeat a Loris, but now as the cast comes through, it's becoming much better. And VDJ and VDJ is taking a loss. And Enerus is taking a loss. VDJ maybe as well as the Lucian comes in to help out. And, well, Team Airfryer are not out of it just yet.
I'm so curious as to what's going on with this Yunara. I'd love to see the Kraken going across onto the Renekton instead. But we've got, the Warden frontline and Senna. That's basically our squad at the moment because nobody else is really doing a whole lot. I wouldn't hate to see the Horizon Focus put on the Ornn purely for the HP because Team Pink, they are playing with as close to elimination here in Lobby 1 as they could be. So we'll see the Slam coming in. Of course, for the Fiddlesticks.
Oh, it's smart. It's smart because of the fear.
There we go,
because
the lightning
fear
strikes.
Actually counts. Yeah. The fear counts as a CC ability, so it really helps out. So I think that was the dilemma that that Crazy Smurf was in. However, Chive took a loss there, so that just means that now we're down to 1 life as Team Airfryer, and really our lobby leaders, aka Team Angio, are also not doing too well, so we could have the tournament blown wide open, Counter.
I mean, I'm just taking a quick look through to Team Angio's board. So we've got, on one hand, kind of just the power of 3 board with just the single 3 cost, which is far from ideal. I'm kind of, Elude is the one which is most intriguing me though. We've got a Vanquisher board, which I know was certainly popular for a while, but dropped off of the map entirely. It's a very bold choice for an incredibly important game for the team to take something that's certainly vastly less popular, to put it mildly.
Yeah, 100% with you there. I think... Okay, there we go. I was about to ask, why do we have a 1-star Caitlyn with no Piltover on the board? So I think this is just a Slayer Vanquisher board. So this is... It's certainly a comp that has sort of fallen out of favor, but given the right placement and the right augments, it can certainly thrive. However, it is a board with a bunch of one stars, so you really need a lot of upgrades to help you out here. Also, Senwa just found the upgrade for the Draven. I was about to say we had a naked Kindred 2 versus a 1-star Draven with a bunch of items.
Oh boy. So now we've got 2 teams on Elimination Station. Oh no! I didn't notice Crazy Smurf taking the L, which means that that's Team Airfryer out of contention, which does mean that our current tournament leaders, Team Angio, have a little bit of a better chance of making it in, but I believe that they must, unless we're getting a visual bug here, it looks like they were naturally hit 1 HP, so they'll have a few more chances. But looking up the rest of the teams in the lobby, It's looking very unlikely, GG, that our current undefeated team will remain that way by the end of this game.
Well, unless some miracle happens here, it's it's looking like it's going to be France versus Australia for the win.
Certainly the sensation's more than slightly familiar with that kind of level of competition. Senua will try and make the best of the quick striker, but we can see that the cash outs have been worthwhile for the Draven up until this point. Keep your eye on the back line, as we've got some decent damage being done, but also Seraphine is getting to free fire for most of the round. She's not being reached, and just in a front to back fight, it's not even a little bit close. Team Purple, Team Angio go down to a single life.
So Team Bonjonen are definitely looking to contest the sensations. However, Enerus is not having the same success as VDJ here, so it is the Shadow Isles board, but Enerus is still looking to get some of those upgrades in, because we still have a Callista one, we have a Thresh one, we have a 1-star Braum, so I think Enerus is either trying to get to level 9 or is slow rolling here and, you know, waiting until you get to those dire straits HP levels to begin massively rolling down. We do have the Viego 3 with the augment here, so if outside of anything else, this Viego should just be destroying almost everything.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the Quicksilver, so very, very reliable. The passive attack speed as well, but as you point out, the 1-star Callista is struggling to get the DPS through she needs to. It's looking like Team Angio, yes, will survive another round. So we're still up in the air here. Of course, if Angio do somehow pull off the win in the lobby, they will have clean swept the tournament and, of course, be guaranteed champions here today. Blue squad still holding on with a good amount of HP, and of course the Sensations still ruling the roost at number 1 spot, 45 left in the tank.
TV there with a very, very good takeaway. Stealing the Demacia emblem from VDJ, who would have loved to grab that. So the Sensations definitely pulling off something fairly, pulling off a very smart play there. And that might be a game, well, technically that might be a tournament decider for everyone. But yeah, it is level 9 for Enerus. They were waiting to get to that level 9, and now they can roll more reliably for those 5 costs.
Yeah, that's a step in. Of course, trying to step over Elude from Team Angio, along with Senua, cannot afford to lose a single round. The Viego is in a pretty good spot to hit some priority targets from the rest of the squad. Does do some good work before being knocked down. I think it's not maybe going to be quite good enough. The Callista 2 could have been a difference maker. A Senua, I think, is just about to hold on. No! Our undefeated team goes out in the bottom 4, and the doors are flung open to first place.
And now we have Team France versus Team Australia, aka the Sensations versus Team Bonjon. And if my math is correct here, it is those two teams fighting for the victory in the entire tournament.
Oh boy. Yep, they came into this one with the same points as each other. You're right, Team Angio have seeded their position up at the very top of the table, so let's see what they've got for us. We've got the Rising on the other side. Stevie Sensation going for the traditionally strongest board, that Viego dancing right in the middle of the back hasn't taken too much aggro as of yet, so should be able to hit the priority targets. The Rise gets cut to pieces. The backline is gone just like that, and that was a brutal round.
Oh my god, I thought the Kindred there saving a little bit of the front line was going to be enough to thwart the efforts of the Viego, but the Viego just jumping out of everyone, jumping out on that Ziggs, on that Rise. It doesn't even matter that you have Ziggs and Rise there if the Viego can just go onto your backline and completely destroy it. Wow, this is turning to be an insane closeout to the tournament. And VDJ, who has been so reliable up to this point for Team Bonjournen, has actually started losing a little bit.
Let's start breaking down these boards since we know that we'll be facing up against each other multiple times. VDJ's got the 7 Demacia in place. The board doesn't look like it's getting a whole lot stronger without a few well-placed upgrades. Actually, the Garen will be pretty big, especially if you can move the items across from Xinjiao to provide just much more time to work with. We'll be sending across some reinforcements. Of course, we've got Orn working very hard for Enerus' side. I think very close to one more round to be able to get another artifact in place. So Enerus is looking strong. This is the board I'm most worried about, DG. That we're still working with a lot of one-cost units. Up against Stevie Sensation, this is one of the most cap boards available right now. I just don't know how Asona can really measure up to these 5 costs.
I think the Sona with the combination of the set have to be the two units that are going to help out. But the problem is you have the Graves board that is just doing way too much for the side of Stevie Sensation. This Quick Striker Graves has certainly become sort of the thing to completely demolish everything and everyone in this comp. Sorry, in this game.
That was a pretty devastating loss. So we've got the double Aegis of Dusk. That's a shame it couldn't have been the 2 different Aegises together to maximize the value. I think Enerus has got the best chance. VDJ is really just going to hope Enerus can clean out this game as quickly as possible. This time, though, we can see the Viego spending a lot of the round just walking around rather than hitting onto those priority targets where he needs to be. He will get focused. The Edge of Night gets ticks through immediately, and he's back onto the tanks instead of onto the carries where he needs to be. It's going to be a crushing loss. Both members lose, and the Sensations will take it all.
Wow. Yeah, what an incredible ending to that game. We criticized the Darkened Bow Graves, and it turns out the Sensations knew something we didn't.
Oh boy. Yes, it looks like something went a little bit awry with the results here. That something must have gone a little screwy, but at least based on what we were seeing before, we knew where everybody was coming in. I'm just going to check to see if someone's been intentionally messing with the results, or if honestly, much worse news, the idea that things have gone a little bit awry on the side. But I think we can at least with confidence say, based on what we saw from the previous round, that the Sensations will be our winners there. We'll have to see if we can get everything sorted out and get the results reported incorrectly. Because that's definitely shouldn't be... Yeah, I'm seeing some results which are definitely not correct. And will be reported in. But I think our players are taking it on themselves to fix whoever put in the wrong results. Or honestly, I'm going to go out on a limb and probably blame myself for conceivably having, just thrown a wrench in to everything. But yeah, I'm not trusting these standings at all. Something's gone dramatically wrong there. But I'm going to see if we can get the Sensations to join us on the broadcast, since I don't think that it seems like things are just getting more and more confused as time goes on, and yep, everything's gone completely screwy. Okay.
I think we need to lock it down and manually input everything.
I'm going to see if we can get a word from Stevie and Shelby, because yes, it looks like, I don't know what's going on there. I've never seen this happen before with the tournament setup. Looks like everybody on looks like we've now got the wrong teams on table 1, and also the wrong results for them as well. I don't know what's going on. But we'll see if we can, we're pretty certain we've got our champions. We'll see if they want to be interviewed or not. They do. Wonderful. They were a lot of fun the previous times they came through and won. I'm going to check. Let's see. I know they are previous. I have to check with them if this is a second or third win, because honestly, I can't remember anymore. It's been too many tournaments, and the sensations have been too dominant that I could totally believe this was their third win. Ooh. And apologies to the rest of the folks in the competition. I do not know what happened with the scores overall. That's completely new one as far as we're concerned. Yeah, that's a completely new one to me. I'll have to consult with Alex, the Wet Noodles, who actually designed the sheet, to see if he can figure out what on earth has happened there. But yeah, currently I would assume that the rankings are completely wrong unless told otherwise. I will do my best to try and fix it, but it will be mostly to try and determine who's getting second place in the tournament overall, because I think it might be too much to fix all the results from all the tournament. I don't know! But to happier things, the Sensations, welcome back to the stream. I wanted to check with you guys, is this your second or third win in Canada's Casual Competition?
I reckon it might be our third, but I reckon Steve might know better. I feel like it's our third. I reckon, yeah, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it might be our third. I'm not sure.
Alright, well I'm going to give you the multi-time champion role, which I may well have already owed you coming to this one, but guys, talk to us about the tournament overall. How was that whole experience for you coming in? You knew you were one of the favourites coming in, but there were some very good teams you were faced up against this time.
I reckon this season, maybe up until like last week, I reckon we were struggling a little bit. I think Steve actually said like, "Oh, we'll refine our form, we'll regain our form in the Counterfeit Cup," and like it actually happened. So I found, which was pretty good because yeah, I think on ladder we haven't been doing as well lately. But yeah, we had especially the last game. I think I opened up with the Graves too. So like that was, I feel that was a bit like dirty. I don't know. That was very very high roll. And the first game was really close as well. I thought I thought that was quite difficult as well. But yeah, I'm super happy to have won. I think I wasn't expecting it coming in. We haven't been in good form before. Maybe this week, I reckon.
Knife Maker is definitely agreeing with you in the chat. DG, do you have anything you want to ask our multi-time champs?
Well, first of all, thank you for playing in the tournament, even though it's getting, I believe, well, depending on where you are, it's either midnight or 2 a.m. So thank you for staying up late. And I have a question, which is, were you scared by every single person contesting you on Bilgewater in multiple games? Or was it just the thing of we're just going to play our game and see what happens?
I think the third one I wasn't too worried because like I was just so far ahead and I could just win streak off of Graves too with a bunch of slams on them. But the first one, I feel like I got very, very lucky. I don't know. I'd have to review the game. Maybe there was a different angle, but yeah, like I was talking to Steve afterwards, and like, yeah, well, I feel like I got very lucky in that one. I feel like that could have easily been like a fourth place just based off like the three-way contest. Like I had some money, but yeah, that was I was very scared that first game.
Well, I kind of want to take a chance to jump out to kind of meta stuff. Of course, as we saw, guys are making great use of the bilge water, but is there anything that you've got your eyes on that you maybe didn't get a chance to play this competition that you'd be looking to play a little bit more of? Maybe in double up, maybe in the regular solo queue over the course of this patch?
I'll let Steve handle this one. He's got all the secret tech.
Nah, I think Bilgewater just seems really strong right now. It's a build that's really strong, like early to mid game with Graves or TF2 that you can get really easily in double up. Yeah, you have your pirate shops, you have your ally sends. Yeah, it's quite warping in double up. So until we find like another strong reroll build, maybe like Echo could be good. We've been seeing that around lately. Yeah, we'll have to see.
All right,
Yordles as well.
Oh yeah.
Actually, maybe there's a secret Viger build, but I'm too scared to try it. So I'll just finish on that.
Okay, I'm going to reveal this secret once.
Ooh.
Well, technically it will be on stream, but you know every single person who watched it can look at it. Veigar is fairly strong, but if you get to level 9 and put in Ziggs plus Veigar, it's basically the same things as Ziggs Rise. So if you get Yordles or a reroll augment, you can just go for Ziggs Veigar. That's my secret tech that I've been using to climb.
All right.
I think so as well. It looks really strong, especially like when you can get to the Ziggs. Oh, I mean, we also didn't mention Zave's always playing that Zahen hero augment, the one that wasn't doing very well before this patch. He keeps on trying to like complete his lore finder, so we'll have to see what happens there.
I'm missing that one for my top 4. I need the Zahen top 4.
Yeah, the top 4 is so hard.
All right. Well,
I feel like it's good now, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I played some yesterday with it, and I managed to get the top 4 with it. So I don't know. I feel like it's all right now.
oh, one last thing then. I'm kind of curious. How are things doing in the O scene overall? Are there any competitions that you guys playing outside of the casual competition to be able to sharpen your skills?
You can take this one, Steve.
There doesn't seem to be any OC competitions. Currently, Shelby and I, we just play on NA with our other friend Linky as well. There was a while where it was like quite hard to find games in OC, like once we got higher up on the ladder. So yeah, we're just camping it out in NA right now. But it seems like outside of the competitions that UNDG are running over here, sometimes there's the Northern Gaming one, but yeah, there's not too many competitions around, unfortunately.
That's too bad.
Well, first of all, I thank you for that, but I have to correct you guys. It's Counter's tournament. I'm just a lowly guest.
No, not lowly at all. You're an absolute champ of the commentating. Like, we'll be watching it back later and be like, amazing.
I mean, I suppose that's a little, it's a memory to carry forward. I suppose, well, as a last thing before we let you go, and we'll try and figure out how to do the giveaways for today, given that the tournament software is apparently completely imploded. Is there any advice that you guys would have to other double up duos to be able to capture even a fraction of the glory you guys have captured so far?
Okay, I'll let you take this one, Shelby.
Yeah. I mean, you got to get a bit lucky. I think. I think we've been a bit lucky today. Yeah, I guess it's just the same old. You got to practice a lot and whatnot, and play a lot of double up. And I think it's different enough from solos that they actually have to play the double up ladder. Yeah, we've actually versed solos a few times on ladder, and I think that's probably helped a bit because sometimes we're not sure if we're playing like well until you verse like really good players, and then you get punished for some of your mistakes a bit more. But yeah, in particular, I guess this patch, like it being really good at playing Bilgewater is probably the biggest thing. At least like one of your teammates on it. But I feel like that's going to get B patched maybe for lucky. So I'm not sure outside of that.
That's fair enough. All right, well, congratulations, Shelby and Stevie Sensation, for an absolutely astonishing. We're gonna say we can write whatever history we like here for winning it out for the 3rd time. Again, just before we let you guys go, anything that you would like to shout out in terms of either O scene or any of the other places that you think people should be throwing a little bit of their attention?
I mean, first of
you
all,
want to
thank
shout out,
you.
Steve?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, like, thank you to you, Counterfeit, for constantly running these tourneys. It's definitely a joy to be able to play them, and we appreciate all the work that you put into it, like, out of your own free time. And you, DG, for your amazing commentary as well. Other than that, just shout out to our friends Linky and Patrick, who might be watching this later. So, yeah, they can't yell at us now. Give them a shout out.
All right, Linky and Patrick, make sure you give them a lot of shit because they are definitely going to have big heads after this, but very well earned. Steven Shelby Sensation, thank you so much. Well, we've got, again, this is going to be a little bit iffy because we don't know exactly who's coming second overall in the competition. So what we're going to do is we'll draw 3 sort of additional teams, and then we'll figure out who came in second at some point. Fortunately, this also goes with the pricing being a little bit iffy as well. But just before we let you guys go, Shelby and Stevie, would you mind counting us in just 3, 2, 1, and we'll draw our first of the 3 random teams today.
All right. Hey, Steve, we'll do it at the same time.
Okay. 3, 3,
2,
2, 1, go!
2, 1, go!
Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
blame that on O-Slag. That it didn't go so well.
Having a brain
100%.
from that.
Ooh. Okay, so that will be Yuki and Blonde. DG, would you mind counting in 1 as well?
Well, of course.
Champions, get ready to roll. In 3, 2, 1.
Oh, hold the phone, actually. It looks like... Oh my gosh. Things are so screwed up that 7 apparently is not in the table as well. Alright, let's... I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna see if I can try and find a... Maybe I'll take from the participants list instead. Yes, this might be a little bit more reliable. Apologies, everything appears to be on fire here today. So let's take out...
This is fine.
Right, let's take out the casual helpers. We've got everybody. Let's take out the sensations as well. Alright, let's just roll it. We may have to roll this a couple of times because Wheel of Names is doing the weird thing where it... Yep. Where it keeps a bunch of empty entries in here. So let's try that again. I think I discovered that I can actually make this go faster, which is good. Alright. We miss Pills. Will be our second one, which I believe is Leavin and Mr. Duck.
Mr. Duck.
Yeah. Mr. Duck. And one more. 3, 2, 1. Probably gonna have to end up spinning this for another time. Did that one work? I think we could see. Bubbles Cake, who is Conan Gray and Copper Bamboo. Okay, Conan Gray and Copper Bamboo. They will be our random winners, unless it turns out one of them is second. Haha! In which case, we'll do another draw. I think for now, in the interest of not destroying any more things, I'm going to have a quick look around and see if we've got any Teamfight Tactics friends we can, or new friends we can make along the way. DG, I don't know if you've got anybody to handle the sensations, if you've got any OS streamers you think that people might enjoy listening to.
Well, I don't have anyone here on my list.
Nah, we wouldn't
You know
know
anyone,
anyone
Steve?
as well. Nah.
Alright, well, Crazy Works 28 I've never met before, but they're from OS, so I guess that's as good as we can go for. So we'll head across there. We'll be back in approximately 2 weeks for next competition. I'm still trying to sort out the price situation in Riot because things have gotten a little bit weird with the codes which we've had in the tank expiring. So stay tuned. I might need to delay the arrival of the next tournament just to make sure that all the pricing is in place. For this tournament and for the previous tournament as well, I'll be in contact with people over DMs to make sure you get your pricing one way or the other. For now though, congratulations again to the Sensations on becoming our 3-time CCC Double Up champions, and we'll hopefully catch you guys in a couple of weeks' time. DG, before we just head across for the raid, anything you'd like the good folks to know about on your side of things?
Look out for me on the carousel because I have secret comps to unleash in the ranked lobbies.
Oh my gosh, how exciting! All right, let's head across for a raid to Crazy Works. Hopefully they're nice. They're from OS, so I think we've got a pretty good odds of it working out. And we'll catch you guys for our next tournament down the line. Sign-ups will be open for that relatively soon, but I think my first priority will be seeing if I can fix the tournament. And if not, I'll just give up and hope for the best. Ha! Catch you guys hopefully soon. Alright, we are raiding.
And we are Audi.
Alright, I think I'm gonna go cry in a corner for a while before even attempting to.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of work. Yeah, thank you again for the tournament, bro. We had a lot of fun. Thanks. And good luck with your team, with your lore finder. We'll get that things out one day.
The damn